Sam Elliott has spent more than 60 years in Hollywood doing something almost nobody else has managed, staying exactly who he is, on screen and off, while the entire industry shifted around him. He's 81 now, and when you look at the 5 people who have mattered most to his career and his life, you start to understand why he's still standing. The first name goes all the way back to 1969, and a film called Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Robert Redford was already becoming one of the biggest stars in the country when that movie was made. Elliott was there too. Barely. He was credited as card player number 2, an uncredited extra lurking somewhere in the background of a bar scene. He said he never dared speak to the leading lady on that set, let alone the leading man. He described himself as nothing more than a shadow on the wall. Redford went on to reshape American cinema through the 70s and beyond, founding the Sundance Institute, winning an Oscar for directing, and championing independent filmmakers long after his own leading man years had passed. He passed away on September 16, 2025, at 89, and the tributes came in for days. Elliott's grief was different from most, quieter, more private. He wasn't a longtime friend or a peer. He was just the kid in the background, close enough to watch history happen, too unknown to be part of it. Now he's one of the last people alive who can say he was even in that room. The second name is Kurt Russell, and the film is Tombstone. Released in 1993, it's widely considered the finest Western of the last half-century. Russell played Wyatt Earp, Elliott played his older brother Virgil, and the production was chaotic from the start. The original director was let go early, and Russell quietly became the creative force, keeping the whole thing together. Elliott has recalled Russell being visibly anxious about a competing Wyatt Earp film starring Kevin Costner, which had a bigger budget and far more studio muscle behind it. The tension between the two of them never fully resolved even after filming wrapped, but somehow that friction made their performances feel honest. They weren't acting like brothers. In some ways, they actually were. Third is Ben Johnson, a rodeo champion long before he was ever an actor, discovered almost by accident while delivering horses to a film set in 1943. He was mentored by director John Ford, won a Best Supporting Actor Oscar for The Last Picture Show in 1971, and by the time he worked alongside Elliott on the 1979 miniseries The Sacketts, he was a living monument to the Western genre. The bond between them went deeper than any screen credit. Before Johnson died in 1996, he handed Elliott the rights to an unfinished script called The Outfit, a project that had already outlasted 2 of Johnson's intended collaborators. Elliott has been holding on to it for nearly 30 years. That's not a Hollywood tribute. That's a promise. Fourth is Tom Selleck, the co-star Elliott has had the most natural, effortless chemistry with across 2 TV westerns, The Sacketts and The Shadow Riders. Audiences who discover those films today still describe the two of them as feeling like genuine brothers rather than a casting choice. And fifth, the one who isn't really a co-star in the traditional sense, is Catherine Ross, his wife of 41 years. She was actually on that same 1969 set where Elliott was an invisible extra. She had no memory of him at all. Nearly a decade later, they worked together on a horror film in London, and everything changed. They married in 1984. They've worked together, raised a daughter together, and at the 2023 SAG Awards, he turned to her in front of the whole room and called her his partner through thick and thin. 2 of those 5 people are gone now. 2 are still working, and 1 has never left his side. That's the story Sam Elliott has been telling his whole career. Not through awards or accolades, but through the people he chose to keep close. If this moved you, hit like and subscribe. There's a lot more to this man's story than one video can hold.